Welcome to Games and Gaming, everyone. I'm your host, Mark.
This is Daniel.
And since this is our first episode, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Daniel, why don't you kick us off?
Yes, hello, everyone. This is Daniel, and I have been video gaming for a very long time, since I was a little guy. And I'm still playing today, and I'm also into board gaming in the last 5 years. And that's something that has really been part of my life more than video games nowadays. But video game has always be in the background or around. How about you?
I am Mark, and I have been video gaming since I was a wee little child, say around 6 years old. I started playing my brother's games that they had. I think the consoles we had back then were the regular Nintendo, and I think we had the Super Nintendo as well. Really, the first memory I have of video gaming was like playing Donkey Kong Country, the first one for Super Nintendo. And I think that's because that was the first game that I was better than my brothers at. And it was the first game that I was finally able to beat them. So they wouldn't want to play with me because I would know all the secrets, and they'd like come home from school and start playing. I'd be like, oh, can I play too? And they'd be like, no, we don't want you to. And it made me sad.
Yeah, it's always memorable when you finally can beat your brothers at a video game.
Yeah, that was definitely the first one that I remember beating them at. But we had the original Nintendo as well, and so I played Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, Mario Brothers 3. I know I played Mario Brothers 2, so we must have had Mario Brothers 2 as well. But we had most of the games that most kids had back in that time, and it was a lot of fun. I definitely have fond memories of gaming, and I am still a gamer to this day. I'm playing really anything I can get my hands onto, and my Steam account is starting to get ridiculous. It's not that bad, but it's pretty ridiculous at this point. So I'm trying to play through those games, but every time you play a game, you go on the Steam webpage and, oh, this game looks really cool, and you buy that game too.
I have another friend that's the same way. He often goes on Steam and, oh, look at this. You can buy 20 games for $5. Okay, then he buys 20 games.
All right.
And then before you know it.
I feel like I'll be losing money if I don't buy these games.
Exactly. Even if I only played 5 of them, I still only paid $5 for this many games. And it's paying for itself right there if I played 5 games.
And that's something I'm kind of proud of myself at this point, because I'm going through and playing every single game in my Steam library for at least 1 hour. It's a project I said I was going to do. I told myself, if I don't play these games, they're just going to sit there forever, and I'll be playing some other game that's just never going to end, like a Diablo 3 or a Hearthstone, or just some other game that I'm going to play for 9 hours in the day and be like, yeah, I did the same thing for 9 hours, but it was fun. Don't judge me.
Yeah.
So I told myself a little while back, I'm like, I'm going to play through every single one of my games in Steam, play it for at least an hour. If I like the game, I'll keep it in my Steam library, like I won't uninstall it, and I'll just come back to it once I finish them all. So I've played like 6 or 7, like just started doing it, and I think 3 of those I've already really enjoyed, and I'm already looking forward to going back and playing them again, but
Awesome. So you're stopping at 1 hour. You're not letting yourself go longer if you're really enjoying it?
No, I have a timer set. I set a timer for 60 minutes. I start playing the game. When the timer goes off, if I'm still having fun, I'll play a little longer, but I know that I have to stop eventually because there's a lot more games I have to play. So it's usually I'll get to the next save point, or I'll get that other item, and then I'll turn it off, and I'll go right down the list and start the next one. And so far, It's been working very well. It's been fun, I guess you could say. It's kept me busy, definitely. So it's one of those things that instead of sitting down and playing a game I've played 500 times before, I'm playing new games. And that idea always scares me. It's like, I don't want to play this new game because either it's going to be really bad and I'll feel that I've wasted my time, or it's going to be really good and it's going to eat up my entire life and I won't be able to play all my other games or do anything like that. So I'm just going to play through them all, so that I can say that I did and just keep on trucking from then on. Keep playing the ones that I really liked, Don't play the ones I don't really like.
Are you making notes of the ones you really like on like a little paper? So by the time you get to the 300th game, you don't forget, what was that one game I really liked? Oh, man, I don't know. I got to play through all of them again.
I got to go through them all again. Now, it's I'm just uninstalling them. So I've installed every game that I haven't played for over an hour yet and going through each one. And the ones that I want to go back and play, I just leave those installed on my computer, and then I move on to the next one. It's like I said, I've already found 3 that I want to play so much. One of them is Amnesia: The Dark Descent. One of the games that when it came out, just everyone loved it. The mechanic is genius. It truly is. And I have to go back and finish that game. It scared the pants off of me. My pants literally fell to the floor when I was playing that game. It was either that or I screamed like a little girl. I think it was I screamed like a little girl.
Maybe both.
It was definitely both. That game is frightening, and I had such low expectations going into it because I didn't know what game it was. I thought it was just one of those games that I picked up in like some bundle, and I didn't know because the name just didn't scream out to me, this game is amazing. Like, I know I'd heard about Amnesia: Dark Descent when it first came out, but since then I've kind of forgotten about it. And playing through it, I start out going, oh, okay, it's a horror game. Yeah, that's really scary. Oh, this is really scary. Oh, look at all this world building. And then I just kind of slowly grew into it. It's like, man, this voice acting is really good for an indie game. And then I kept playing, and man, that was really cool. That mechanic was frightening. And then I walk in the next room, and I'm like, oh my god, this game is amazing. It really just escalated into something beautiful. So I hope to continue playing the games and have something to talk about, have something to share as I kind of go through each game and my experience with them. Fortunately, don't have enough time to share every single game right now, but yeah. What about you, Daniel? You playing anything recently? Or
as far as video games go, yes. Most recently, the biggest game, I guess the most heavily produced game was the Lara Croft game, the one that did a reboot on the series, where she's in the island and she's got to free the spirit. The spirit won't let him leave the island and whatnot. It was actually way better than I thought it was going to be. That was actually my first Lara Croft game I've ever played all the way through. Every other game I kind of picked up, played a little bit, and I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. But this one, the story really got me going, and I want to see what's going to happen next. It was pretty cool.
Got you excited to stare at Lara Croft's hot behind?
Her wet clothing every time
I know you were staring. No. As the game goes on, she keeps getting less and less clothing.
Yeah, right. But
I'm sure that had nothing to do with your decision.
No, of course not. It was all story.
Mm-hmm.
And the other game I picked up, and speaking of story, the other game I was playing through, actually on my iPad, is the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I got the port for it years ago.
Knights of the Old Republic? The first one or the second?
The first one.
Oh, man.
And, yeah. On the iPad, nonetheless. And it was good. I finished it, too, a couple days ago.
Oh, did you? Did you, do all the side quests and stuff?
I think I did probably most 80% at least. I'm pretty sure. There was some I didn't want to do because it's for the dark side. Usually when I play a game like that, I'm trying to be like the good guy, like super good, noble person right away. Not right away, but the whole game. And then when I play it through again, which I'm actually doing again with KOTOR, I kind of do the opposite, or more harsh character. More in the middle character I do when I play it through the second time. So that's what I'm doing again.
Do you remember what class you were? I think it's like mercenary or...
Actually, when I first started it, maybe like 2 years ago, and then I just kind of didn't touch it again. So I don't remember what class it was. But now I'm doing a soldier, so because I wanted more strength for when I do the lightsaber stuff. Yeah. But man, I can't remember what class exactly I picked when I first started it because it was so long ago. And then I told myself, I gotta finish this game. It's been sitting in my iPad here, looking at me every time I turn it on. So I'm glad I finished it, and the storyline was pretty cool. I like the twist. I don't want to. It's been a long time since the game has been out. Well, not the end, but like almost near the end, where you find out about your character. That was pretty cool.
Spoilers.
I was pretty. I'm not gonna say what happened in case somebody hasn't played it, but yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty cool. Twist there.
Yeah, if you haven't played Kothar, it's Kothar, right? Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah, if you haven't played Kothar, definitely play that game. And I highly recommend playing the second one as well. They're both amazing games. If you like anything that involves Star Wars, play those games. You will love them.
Right. And what I did notice when I was playing it, when I finally started playing it, kept thinking, man, this is really familiar. I wonder if BioWare made this, because I didn't see who made it. Sure enough, it's them. Mass Effect. I kept thinking about Mass Effect, how similar it was to the stories, the side quests you have to do, the decisions you have to make, and it's a lot like Mass Effect, Mass Effect is one of my all-time favorite games. So I didn't mind that at all.
Which Mass Effect did you play?
All of them. But I haven't finished the third one, so don't
you haven't played all of them then?
Well, it's because I had to make a decision and I couldn't decide, and then I made the wrong decision and my friend died. And I was sad.
Aww.
And then I was like, but I don't know what to do anymore. So
I don't want to play this anymore.
I've been too distraught.
My friend died.
So, yeah. But I plan on finishing it. Now that I finished KOTOR, I really want to finish Mass Effect. But
yeah,
Mass Effect is so good. It's another one of those games that I've put so many hours on there.
Yeah, spoiler for Mass Effect 3, the ending sucks.
Well, I've heard that. Yeah, I don't know how it ends, but I heard not many people liked it, but
yeah,
whatever. They supposedly changed it somewhat. They added something different so you can have a different ending or something. But that's fine with me. I'll see how it ends. So
yeah, when I played through Mass Effect 3 originally, it did not have the extended ending or the DLC ending. So I haven't played again to see that ending. But the original ending, I mean, when I played it, it just didn't seem satisfying to me. Granted, I hadn't played the original Mass Effect. So I hadn't played the original. I'd played the second one, but I didn't import my save. I think I played it on a different console.
Oh, see, I played it from game 1, and I put hundreds of hours on game 1, hundreds of hours on game 2. So I've been in that world, and I've loved the world and the characters in it. So when I got to the third game and that moment happened in the game where I couldn't save both the people I wanted to save, I was just like, it really hurt me. I was like, oh my God, no, why does she have to die?
I'm sure if you played better, you could have saved them both.
I couldn't believe I couldn't have the option, and their option is there if you do whatever you have to do correctly. And I thought I did. I've done, in those games, I played everything. I do everything in the game before I go to the end.
Yeah.
And I thought I had done everything correctly, and somehow I missed that option, and that's kind of pissed me off in a way. So I may actually start game 3, but I think that option comes along from things you did in the past games as well. So even if I do everything correctly, I might have done something wrong in games 1 and 2, so I still won't get that option. So, which it's fine. I'll get over it eventually. It's been so long too.
Eventually, you'll get over it. You never will. Don't lie. Yeah, Mass Effect 3 was a game that I played just kind of to beat it almost. It was everyone was playing it when it first came out, and I couldn't be one of the guys that wasn't, so I had to play it, and I did a lot of the side stuff, but I feel like near about halfway through it, I probably went, I'm just going to focus more on the main storyline and just beat the game, almost to say that I had. It was still an amazing game, but it wasn't a game that I tried to do every little thing. It was a game that I played to beat it.
Mm-hmm. So you weren't invested too much in the game, because I got all the DLC. I did all those. I did all the quests. I played the game both first and second game twice. With the super goody two shoe character. Yeah. And then I did the first game again with the more hardcore character. One was a male character, and the one was a female. And then I carried both of those characters over to the second game, and I did the same thing for the second game. I played it through with the good character and then the more tough character. and then
Yeah.
carried, and then I was playing through.
Was the more tough character the female?
Yeah.
It would be. I knew it.
She didn't take crap from anybody.
Yeah, right?
Well, the guy's always like, please calm down, guys. We can work this out. She used to be like, you, stop it. Don't be an idiot. Slap him in the face.
Shut up.
Yeah, so.
So let's talk about our board gaming history and kind of what got us started off in board gaming. So, Daniel, why don't you start us off again?
Very well. The first memory of actual hobby game that I played was Settlers of Catan, because my friend was talking to me about it. My friend Ryan out in DC, he was just like, hey man, I heard this one game that is supposed to be really good. It's not like Monopoly. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It's a board game. It can't be anything more than roll and move or spin and move. And he was like, no man, I'm telling you, it's supposed to be different. It's played by so many people. Is really high ranking in standings in this one website that he discovered, boardgamegeek.com. And I was just like, okay, whatever, let's try it. Just try it. I just want to maybe like silence him, and be like, okay, I tried it, now you can shut up about this game. And we got together at his friend's house, and it was 6 of us learning how to play the game for the first time, and it took a long time, but at the end of it, I was blown away, really. I mean, by this hobby world, this board game that is not Monopoly, pretty much, and that's what got me hooked right there. From then on, I got into it. I looked up different board game styles, different designers, different publishers, and I haven't looked back. That was about 5 years ago. How about you?
Well, it was you that
Yep.
got me into gaming. Yeah. Thanks, Daniel.
You're welcome.
It was Settlers of Catan was the first game that I played, and you brought me into your world and you showed me its glories. I can't say that I am disappointed. The game was a lot of fun. I couldn't tell you who we played with. I think it might have been like just you and me, but maybe not. And we played through the game, and after playing it, it was like, man, this game was amazing. It was a lot of fun. Like, I had a lot of fun building roads and building houses and trying to think of, what can I do next? And like, someone would roll the number that you were just waiting for. Like, you need one more of that resource, and you're just sitting there waiting for like a 5. Come on, roll 5, roll 5. Yes. And you start doing like 10 things because it's the one card you needed, and everyone gets mad at you and yells at you, and that's my life in general.
Yeah, and the robber,
Oh yeah, and that stupid robber.
Putting the robber on somebody. It's like, oh my god, I just put the robber on you. It's like, and you roll a 8. It's like, oh man, I can't believe you just put that on my freaking spades, and people yelling at each other.
Yeah, that's the best way to get someone to never trade with you again, is drop a robber on one of their properties or one of their resources. I said properties. What am I thinking of? Monopoly here? Huh. What a stupid game.
Yeah, and the whole kind of what got me too was the trading. How I guess that's also in Monopoly, but it's a little different here. Trying to get enough materials, I guess, to build your settlement or upgrade to a city and whatnot.
I mean, you kind of have to do that to beat the game, is trade between players, and it's different than, say, Monopoly, in the sense that you can play the entire game without ever trading, without ever doing any sort of auctioning or something like that. If you just get really lucky and you land on all the good board spaces, then you win the game. But Settlers, it's definitely not like that. You have to plan stuff out, plan out trades, think about, okay, if I'm giving this person this, obviously he wants, let's say, wheat. Obviously he wants wheat. Maybe he's trying to build a city. I think you need wheat for his city. I'm just not gonna say yes or no, but you kind of have to think about that. I really need this to build this, but if I give this person that, is he gonna be able to outplay me now that he has this resource? So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and your first playthrough you probably wouldn't notice that, but when you start playing it 3-4 times, you start getting these concepts, and you really see just how deep the game really is, and it makes you want to play it again, believe it or not. games tend to do that.
Yeah.
When you play a good game, you want to play it again.
Exactly. So yeah, I've played that game many times, and I find myself playing it more when I introduce it to people nowadays than just with other gamers. So I use that game nowadays mostly for introducing the hobby to other people, because that's the way I got introduced to it, and I feel like that's a pretty good game to do it with. I did it with you, and I think you told me once that you also did it to. You showed that game to one of your friends in the East Coast.
I did. It was a buddy of mine back from high school. I went home to visit family and friends, and when I met up with him, I just wanted to play that game, and he had never played really any good board games. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out, I'm going to buy you this board game, and we are going to play it together. And he really enjoyed it. I think it was me, him, and his girlfriend, and we played through the night, really enjoyed ourselves. I must have played like at least 3-4 games of it. And it was always like,
nice.
We'd finish a game, and he'd be like, okay, let's do this again. I think I probably won the first match, and that's what it was. He was like, okay, I'm going to beat him this time. I got the game. So he just kept playing and playing, and to this day, he's told me that anytime he has any friends over, he'll always pull that board game out, and he's like, oh, you guys got to play this,
Nice.
It's like social networking for board games.
Right.
You share this, and then your friends share it, and then your friends' friends share it, and it spreads like wildfire. So it's great. I'm glad to hear that he had a good time, and he showed it to some other friends, and I think he's got a couple other of the, good board, quote unquote, good board games.
Cool.
And so I kind of got him into gaming too, or board gaming too. Makes you feel good that you showed someone else. I was gonna say a good time, but let me just not say that. Oh wait, I just did.
Or you can say open their eyes to what board gaming really is. Other than
that's probably a better way to say it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
What? Any other games?
Yeah, when I went to Board Game Geek, I went through all their games that they have listed on there, because they have pretty much every game that's ever come out, and I discovered all the games. I discovered Ticket to Ride is another great gateway game that is used to introduce people to the hobby, and that one's just laying out trains. You try and get from city to city, and you try and lay out your trains down and be the one to have the most points at the end once the trains run out. And it's a really simple game with only 3 rules, really. And so it makes it easy to teach, and you can just teach it like in 5 minutes and you start playing. And yeah, it's one of those games that is simple rules, but the strategy can be pretty deep if you really get into it. And you can memorize the routes, and so you can tell who's going where just by kind of seeing where they're placing their trains. And maybe you can block them if you want to be like that, which a lot of people are. Because it gets to the point where it's almost impossible not to block somebody sometimes when you're playing the full amount of players. So it can be a little cutthroat, the original map for Ticket to Ride.
A little cutthroat? Come on. You were screaming at me. Don't lie.
Yeah, I mean, in good fun.
Why'd you block me? I was trying to build my trains.
In good fun.
That's you. That's what you sound like.
No, I sound a little more manly, I think.
Okay, keep telling yourself that. So, roughly when did that game come out, excuse me?
10 years ago, I think.
10 years?
And, yeah, I think it's been about 10 years. Settlers of Catan is 95 it came out, so 20 years for that one.
Yeah. So
those games are classics now, board gaming classics, really. The Ticket to Ride sold over 1 million copies, so that's huge. It's a good game selling in the hobby, selling 20,000 copies. That's really good, like insane good.
Mm-hmm.
And then, having this game be 1 million copies,
that's better than insanely good. Then
unheard of, really.
Says you. So yeah, you as you mentioned, Ticket to Ride, you played that with me as well. And I don't think it was at that same gaming session that we played Catan, but like another time that I'd come over, we'd play Ticket to Ride, and just like you said, easy game to pick up. As long as you got somebody there that knows how to play it, they're just, oh yeah, you put this here and put that there, and then your turn's over. It's like, oh cool, that was easy enough. Now I wait for you to block my trains and blow them up. You can blow up trains in that game, right? There's a bomb card. It's kaboom.
No. But there is a little expansion that they made called Alvin and something. It's like two monsters, and they're actually they're used to place on cities, and they block the city from being built on. It's weird. I bought it. I've only used it once. I thought it was gonna be a little better. It was kind of weird. I think I actually bought it when you were around too.
That sounds about right. I probably bought it for you.
I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe.
Well, maybe. Any other games that that you can think of that kind of, stick out as those first kind of good games that you played that really kind of got you into it?
Yeah, that one, those two, and this actually is out on Dominion. That is another game that I picked up, a card game.
Oh, Dominion.
Yeah.
I definitely remember playing that with you as well.
Yep, deck building. So these three games kind of build my gaming library in the very, very beginning. And I've played Dominion many times, but funny enough, I have not bought the expansions for it. I've still only been playing the original base game. And there's like 9 expansions for the game now. But
yeah, I was about to say there's a whole lot of expansions, right?
Yeah, but I'm still just happy playing the base game, and it provides just enough game because I don't play it often. So when I do, it's just I don't feel like I have to play an expansion. But the expansions add a lot more different variations to it, and I've played a couple of them that my friends brought over. So, but that's another great game that introduced me to the deck building aspect of the board gaming. How you're building your deck up to have better cards throughout the game by buying different ones here and there, and they shuffle through your pile, so eventually you'll have a better hand to do more stuff to get more points and so forth. So
yeah, and that was
but the only downfall.
Well, can I speak? Can I speak for once?
Oh.
Is that all right with you?
All right, go ahead.
All right, go ahead. Excuse me, Daniel. As I was saying, I really gravitated towards deck building games when I started playing games. I enjoy board games. I really like setting them all up. I cannot tell you what the name of the one that we played before with that little pyramid thing, and you had camels.
Camel Up.
What was that one?
Camel Up.
Camelot?
Camel Up.
Oh, Camel Up. Yes. Sorry, you have an accent. I can't understand what word you say.
Indeed.
Yeah. Camel Up was a great game, but it took a little while to kind of get ready. You got to pull everything out of the box, set it all up. But deck building games, or just card games in general, really quick. You pull out the deck, you spread it out, okay, this is how you play the game. You do this, do that. Okay, and let's play.
Yeah.
And then you go, cleanup is just as fast as putting cards back into a box, and you're good to go. So I really like that aspect, and I found some pretty fun deck building games / card games, and I like them a lot. But don't get me wrong, I still have some board games as well with a decent amount of setup time that if you have the time, you got like 4 hours to kill, you'll go through and play a game for 4 hours. But if you've only got like a half an hour, it's hard to set up the board and do everything and try to teach someone how to play. You just pull out a deck of cards and, oh, this is how you play. Okay, cool, let's play.
Yeah, the setup time definitely takes into consideration how many times I play a game. Because, yeah, some games I have take a long time to set up, and I'm just like, I don't feel like setting it up, and I'd rather play this one game I could set up in 5 minutes and start going. So, sadly enough, though, that does happen.
All right, you got anything else you'd like to add, Daniel?
No, that's about a good info on my gaming and my video gaming as well. So, I'm good here.
That's about the same for me. I started out video gaming, got into board gaming recently, and just have been loving it and trying to, show as many people as I can the awesomeness that is video gaming, but also the awesomenessosity that is board gaming.
Indeed.
So, thank you all for listening. This has been Games and Gaming. I'm Mark.
And I'm Daniel.
And you can follow us on Twitter at Games and Gaming, and we'll try to keep that updated. I know I'm going to be on there tweeting about all of my games that I'm playing and how frustrated I am that they're all stupid. That's a lie. I'm really enjoying going through my Steam library, so I'm kind of excited about that. I'll try to post as often as I can on that and just kind of stuff that's going on. Or you can email us at gamesandgaming@hotmail.com. That's it for now, and I'll see you online.
And I'll see you at the table.